Hey everyone, today we are going to learn how we can implement formulas in Excel. In order to show you with examples, I'm using Spreadsheets, which is an online platform provided by Google, so that you can use and practice this at home on your mobile phone, tablet, or laptop, anywhere, wherever you have connectivity to the internet. Okay, so getting started. What example we are going to take is first, let's say we have to create a table in which we have to calculate the percentage of a class of 5 students. Okay. Regarding only one subject, we will consider only one subject, as if we will go through all 5, 6, or 10 subjects, it will be a long process. So I'm going to show you how to calculate percentage of only one subject. Okay, so first of all we need to provide the headings. So the headings will be as follows. First, we need to put in the name of the child, right? So I'm writing name as the first heading. Second is the marks obtained, right? As we know, the formula for calculating the percentage is marks obtained divided by maximum marks into 100, right? So in that formula we need marks obtained. So I'll write marks obtained. Then I will mention the maximum marks, so I'll write maximum marks. Then finally I will put in the percentage, right? Done. So headings are done. Now we will move on to putting the the entries. So first of all, let's say the names, I'll not put in the actual names. I'll write A, B, C, D, just for the sake of example. So I'll write A, B, then you have C, then D, E. Okay, let's go with until E. So let's say these are the names of the students, A, B, C, D, E. Then the marks obtained, let's give the maximum marks as 50 maybe. So I'll just copy this from here using Control C command. Then I will paste in all of these sections. So yeah, as you can see, I have pasted all the marks, that is 50 maximum marks, and then I'll put in the marks obtained. So let's say the first student got 40 marks out of 50, then second student got 45 maybe, third student got 12, fourth student got 34, and let's go and put in a value of maybe 70. If you think this value is correct, then it is not possible, because the maximum marks is 50. The number expected in this section should be in between 0 to 50. So I can write maybe 46. Yeah, so I'm done. Then finally, in order to calculate the formula or the percentage, I can use this formula. First I'll start with the equal to sign, then I'll use the bracket, the curved bracket. Inside the curved bracket, I'll write the name or the address of the cell containing marks obtained. So I'll select the cell, that is B2. Then I'll put in the divide sign, that is the slash sign. Then I'll select the maximum marks section, that is out of 50. So I selected that. After that, I'll close the bracket. Then I'll use the multiply sign, and then I'll put in 100. So this is the actual formula. As you can see, it is B2 by C2 into 100. B2 is the marks obtained, and C2 contains the maximum marks, and into 100 is just because as it is defined in the formula. So I'll hit enter, and you'll see it will calculate the percentage. So 80 is the percentage of the student. Similarly, you can go on and calculate the percentage of rest of the students. So I'll do and copy and paste the formulas over here, and you can see the computer or your machine will calculate the percentage for you. So yeah, in this way you can create a simple table. Now let us move on and understand another example. Let me delete all of this. Okay, so the next example we are going to apply is, let's say the task is to create a table to store total apple sold and mango sold in 5 days. Finally, use both the fruit sold to calculate the total number of fruits, right? So in order to do that, first thing is you need to create a section called date, because they are asking you for the total sale in 5 days, correct? So I have to use 5 days in this example. That's correct. So I'll put in date as my first part. Then I'll put the dates like maybe 1st January 2023, right? And then I'll just simply go on and copy these dates into rest of the 4 rows. Now what I'll do is I'll change the date like 2, then we can have 3, then 4, and last but not the least 5. Okay, now as we are done with the date section, now we'll add in another section that will be total mango sold. Okay, I'll increase the width of this column and put in the first value. So the total mango sold on 1st January 2023, let's say it was 25. On the second day it was 20. On the third day it was, let's say, 25 again. Third day it was fourth day it was 30, and the fifth day it was 20. So it was all related to the total number of mangoes sold on 5 different days. Now we will add in another column that will be total apples sold. I'll increase the width of this column as well and put in the first value, that will be total number of apples sold on 1st January 2023. So let's say 20, 23, 30, 35 maybe, and 23. That's it. Okay. Now as we are done with the raw data, now comes the time when we have to calculate the total fruit sold on each date, right? So I'll put in the word total. Okay, total fruit sold. In this section I need to implement the formula. So as we know, the formula, or every formula, starts with an equal to sign. After writing the equal to sign, I need to add both of the values, correct? So I'll select the first cell and then add a plus sign, and then select the second cell, and I'll hit enter. So it will give me the total number of fruits sold on 1st January 2023. That was 25 plus 20, that equals to 45. Similarly, I'll go on copying and pasting the values for the rest 4 rows, and we can see the computer is doing the addition for me. If at last I need to calculate the total number of fruits sold for all 5 days, so how I can implement that? I'll put in a heading like total fruits sold, right? That is including mangoes and apples for all 5 days. In front of it, I can use this cell to add in all the values. I can start with the equal to sign, and then I can use the formula starting with selecting this cell, that is D2. Then I can put in the plus sign. Then I can select the second cell. As similarly, I can go on selecting all the cells in this column, right? And finally the fifth one, and I can hit enter, and this will give me the total number of fruits sold in all 5 days. All right, so this was the second example. Now we can move on to the third and last example for this session. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all these values and start from scratch. Okay, so the next example we have with us is to create a table to store the attendance marks and subject marks of class of 5 students. Finally, use both the marks to calculate the total marks of the students, right? So the first thing we need to do is we need to create the first column with the name of the child, right? And the second column heading I can give is for the attendance marks, right? And the third column heading can be subject marks. Okay, so here one thing you will notice is that in subject marks I'm not having different subjects. This you can take like the combined marks of all the subjects. All right, now the last section or the last column heading can be total marks. So in this, the formula given is that the total marks is the sum of attendance marks plus subject marks, right? So let's put in the values in the rows. So as given in the task, they have mentioned the class comprises of 5 students. So I'll write the names. I'll take names again as A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, these are the names of the students, and then I can start putting in the marks of the students. So I'll write maybe 23, 24, 50, 30, and 45. Okay, so that was the attendance marks, and then I can put in subject marks like let's say 45, 40, 43, 38, and 47. As I'm done with putting in all the entries, now I can start with calculating the total marks. Again, I'll repeat, the formula for calculating the total marks is the sum of attendance marks and the subject marks. So in order to write the formula, I can start with again the equal to sign, and then I can select the cell which is actually containing the marks of attendance of student A. So I can select this cell, that is B2, and then I can select the addition operator, that is the plus sign, and then I can select the second cell, right, that is C2. Then I'll hit enter, and you can see the total is calculated. And similarly I can copy this part and go on for the rest of the rows. Okay, so what will happen, the computer will calculate the total number of marks for me. So let's say I want to see the total marks formula for the student D. So how I can do that, I'll double click on it, and then I'll be able to see what is the exact formula implemented for calculating the total marks of student named as D. So that is equals to B5 plus C5 that we saw in the first row. Thank you.